Good morning, everyone. Welcome to meeting number 526 of Blue Quest Toastmasters. I am officiating as a Sergeant at Arms today, and I welcome you all to this meeting. Before we begin, I would like to inform you that any unruly behavior will result in your immediate expulsion from the meeting room, and no explanation will be given to you. You may not be able to come back into this meeting room. A few ground rules for every one of us to follow. Number one, please keep your videos on and your audios off. Number two, you are allowed to talk about religion, sex, and politics, provided that you do so in a responsible manner without offending anyone. To the Toastmaster of the day, to the general evaluator, and to the table topics master, please ensure a smart audio video check for your fellow participants before you hand them on the stage. Everyone, this is a virtual meeting. We require lots of energy, and fortunately, Zoom provides us with these emoticons. Please make liberal and generous use of these. And I would like you to use those emoticons or at least clap in person as I call on stage our presiding officer for the day. Most welcome, Toastmaster Kapil Kakkar.
Thank you, Rupinder. I welcome all the guests and the members in our meeting number 526. I'm sure it is going to be a very exciting meeting today because we have a very interesting theme. And before I do that, I would also like to congratulate our uh, ISC winners, Rupinder and Joyita. Uh, so all the best for your next level. Elisa, can you hear me? Okay. So all the best to you, Rupinder and Joyita. And now it's time to hand over the meeting to our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day is someone who likes to be, who likes travel, but because of the lockdown, he's stuck at home. He's reading books and watching YouTube these days. He likes to stay in an environment which is very friendly and cheerful. So, Amit, you are in the same environment. So now I would like to hand over the stage to you to take up the meeting further. Over to you, Amit.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. It's my pleasure to serve as your Toastmaster for the day this evening. I'm 28 right now, and every time I open my Facebook or Instagram, I see another friend of mine being either engaged or married. For today's theme, I've chosen to closely relate it to this bombardment of marriages that my social media handles are going through. The theme for the day is the wedding people, basically the Indian edition. To give a little more background, I'm about to get added to this bandwagon of people and get married in a couple of months, which also means that these days I'm either preparing for my wedding or thinking about how to prepare for my wedding. But that does not mean that I'm jobless. I continue to work, but sometimes I do end up questioning my own productivity at work in such times. Jokes apart, considering the fact that a large portion of my time these days is generally involved in wedding course, upon getting this role, I decided to figure out how relatable people in a wedding are to people in a wedding and a Toastmasters meeting are. So a wedding generally has a variety of people, the people who are actually getting married. Then there is the parents, the grandparents, the siblings, the relatives, and before I forget, the priests as well. Now, these relatives and the priests are the most notorious group of the Lord. They are the ones who keep everyone on their toes and ensure everything is running in shape during the wedding. For us, these are the critics of our meeting, starting from our general evaluator, Toastmaster Rupinder Singh, uh, and his team, the timer, Toastmaster Elissa, the R counter, Toastmaster Avjinder, and the grammarian, Toastmaster Payal. So coming back to the meeting, a typical Toastmaster meeting is divided into three parts. And just as parents organize the wedding ceremony for their children, especially prevalent in this part of the world, in Toastmasters today, we technically had two prepared speeches, but for reasons, but we'll be only able to execute one of them. Uh, with this, with this, I would like.
Amit, because we have time today, we'll follow a traditional format. So let me introduce the role players today, with your permission.
Okay. So with this, I would, okay, so before we move any further, I would like to call upon the general evaluator and he'll give an introduction of his team.
Did you see that evil smile when you said that you're getting married, Amit? There is a reason behind it. Because an Indian husband is not so upset with the difficulties of his own life as he is when he sees other people smiling and happy. And getting another one added to this group. Ha 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 ha. Ha. Yeah, that is evil laughter. Welcome to the club. Let me savor this moment. Yeah, I become purely evil at heart when I listen to somebody getting married. Okay, I am the general evaluator for today, and I'll be a chief advisor and life coach to Amit as he takes his next step forward. I'm a self appointed life coach like that. I am supported by three very capable role players who will help me in administering and monitoring this meeting. In addition, I do also have a speech evaluator who will be evaluating our lone speaker today. We strive to make our communication concise, clear, and correct. And I, fortunately, happen to have three role players who will help me in doing just that. The first one, who's going to help us make our meeting, our communications concise, ensuring that the ceremonies begin and end on time, is our timer who will use her iron hand to make sure that everything begins and ends on times. Because, hey, in Indian weddings, we are all about timing, timing, timing. So, what if a wedding that was supposed to start at 10 a.m. starts at 12 p.m.? Over to you, Alyssa Schneider.
Thank you, Rupinder. You make a very good point. You see, William Penn once said, time is what we want most, but what we use worst. And here in Toastmasters, we're determined, we are absolutely determined to make the best use of our time possible by marking each individual person's time and being aware of it. Therefore, as your timer officially today, I am happy to announce that I will be recording each person's time. And let's just go over the rules very quickly. If you're presenting a prepared speech, you have 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes, I'll show the green card, 6 minutes, the yellow card, and 7 minutes, the red card. After that, you have 30 seconds of grace to finish your speech, otherwise you will be over time. When we get to the table topic section, you will have 1 to 2 minutes to do your table topic. This means that at 1 minute, I'll show the green card, 1.5 minutes yellow, 2 minutes red. Finally, for evaluations, you have between 2 to 3 minutes. Again, 2 minutes green card, 2.5 minutes yellow, 3 minutes red, and as always, 30 seconds of grace once you see the red card to finish what you've started. Having said that, may I remind you all that time is what we want most, but what we use worst. So let's make the most of time tonight, this morning. My apologies. As we continue moving forward through the wonderful presentations that we have prepared. Over to you, General Evaluator Rupinder. You're muted.
Let's see who will help us in keeping our communications clear. Now, we have various ceremonies and we have those intonations which must be worded perfectly. Otherwise, it is considered inauspicious. So, our counter of the day today will make sure that we are clear in our communication, and that would be Kapil Kakkar. Kapil, over to you.
Thank you, Rupinder. As a counter of this meeting, I would be counting ahs and ums, any filler words, crutch words that actually breaks the rhythm of a speech. I will be presenting my report in the evaluation section when called upon by our general evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, Rupinder.
Thank you, Kapil. And finally, the person who will help us keeping our communications correct, and that would be the grammarian. And I understand that our grammarian has a wonderful word of the day. Let me call on stage Payal to explain her role and tell us about the word of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As a grammarian for today's meeting, I'll take of the good, not so good, and incorrect use of English grammar, as grammar and vocabulary makes for good English. So let us take a note of all the good usage of grammar. The word of the day, I've shared it over the chat, that is esurient, which means, sorry, greedy, hungry, or voracious. I've even given an example for that. Sweet smells permeated the air and caused the esurient man's stomach to growl. So I would encourage everybody to use the word of the day as many times as they can. Thank you so much, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Payal. I can't help but notice that you used esurient as the word of the day. And I wonder if it had something to do with me and my love for food. But thank you so much for providing the word of the day. With that, I look forward to the rest of the ceremony as I hand it back to the Master of Ceremonies, Amit Tandon.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A typical Toastmasters meeting is divided into three parts. Just as parents organize the wedding ceremony for their children, as prevalent in this part of the world, in Toastmasters today, we will have one prepared speech that will be presented before us. With this, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Gayatri to read out the speech objectives for our first speaker of the day, Toastmaster Ashok. Gayatri.
Toastmaster Gayatri, are you there? I think Toastmaster Gayatri is not there. Raj, would you like to take over the evaluation duties?
Yeah, I can take, but I do not know the objectives.
It is level 1, project 2, speech 1, evaluation and feedback. I will recite the speech purpose for you just in case while you get hold of the evaluation form. So Toastmaster Ashok will be delivering his second speech from the second project of level 1, project 2. This will be his first speech in which he will be required to deliver a speech and seek feedback on the same. The time allotted, timer please note, is 5 to 7 minutes with a 30 seconds grace on either side. All the best to Toastmaster Ashok. He will be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Amit.
Thank you. Ashok has been working as a learning and development professional with Orion Innovations He has about 15 plus years of work experience in learning and development. Let's welcome him as he talks about how we can leverage people and time to be more productive and produce better outcomes. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashok.
Please let me know if you are able to hear me. Great. Good morning. Just a minute. Let me start my timer also. Good morning. There was a young man like our Toastmasters Amit. He was working in California in an IT company as a software developer. And in that company, he was spending his day in the ideal way on the job. He was chit-chatting with the friends, taking all possible coffee and smoke breaks. He was surfing internet, going on Facebook, watching friends what they are doing, watching YouTube videos, playing games on his mobile, and still his work was perfect. He was always bang on his work. Wondering how? The same wonder was there for his manager. One day, his manager got to know his secret, how he's able to do this all, and he fired him. Because manager got to know that he is outsourcing his work here in India to someone who is doing all the work for him. For that, he is giving him $2,000 per month while he was getting salary of $10,000 there. Respected guests, jury members, and my fellow Toastmasters, all of us would have done the same if we would have been at the place of his boss. Because we are trained or conditioned in such a way that till the time person don't sweat through his teeth, we don't consider he's working hard. Everyone tell us, oh, do smart work. But when we see someone not doing enough amount of hard work, we don't consider that person that good. So we should understand power of leverage. Because if his manager would have been aware of power of leverage, instead of firing him, he would have promoted him, made him the function or team lead, and asked him to outsource more work and increase the profits for the organization. You may be very productive, you may be very energetic, but still you can't have all the powers of the world. You need leverage, you need people who can work for you. So today I would like to talk about power of leverage through which you can increase productivity in your life. There are n number of things, or better to say that you can leverage almost everything in your life. But here, for the interest of time, I would like to limit it to two things, two most important things: people and time. Starting with people. Whenever you say, I want to leverage people, so first thing which comes in our mind is leveraging people who are working for us. Our vendors, our teammates, or someone else who is working for us. There is ample amount of literature already written on that. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about second aspect, another aspect of it, which is leveraging the experts, leveraging the people who are seniors, who are mentors, who are expert in their field. We can leverage them also. You take my example. I wanted to work upon my presentation skills. I choose to be part of Toastmasters. Right now, when I'm giving this presentation, there is a gentleman who is evaluating my speech for opening, for closing, for the flow, for content. There is another person who is going to check filler words. There is another gentleman who is going to look for my grammar mistakes. This way, I am leveraging expertise all of you to improve myself. That is what leverage. This way, you should also find mentors. You should also find people who can help you to leverage and be good and put you in the fast lane of success. Talking about second part of it, leveraging time. And I want to borrow the quote which Elisa used, that time is something which we want most, but we respect least, or we waste it a lot. Before leveraging time, you should understand you utilize those activities which are not going to give you any outcome in long run. Like you are surfing internet without any purpose. Second, the maximum chunk goes in your spending category where you do daily transactions. Transactions which are necessary today may not have a lot of impact tomorrow or in long run. The third and least considered is the space where we have leverage of time. The space, the utilization of time, which is going to give you the maximum outcome in the long run. Like you want to upgrade yourself to a new skill. You want to learn a new skill which can help you for the upcoming project. You want to prepare a strategy to achieve your goals for the next quarter or year. You want to work on a team member who will be representing you in the board meeting. These are the things where you can put in your time and they can give you great leverage. You are not required to think of spending every day 1 hour. I tell you my example. I have started with 10 minutes every day, where I just look that as a learning and development head, am I looking after all the necessary things for the organization? And that small 10-minute time give me a lot of leverage in time of doing those things which will be required to do maybe after few months. So, respected gentlemen in this meeting, I would like to conclude my meeting by telling you that there are ample amount of things in life to leverage. Please utilize those things. Please make sure that you are leveraging people, leveraging money, leveraging tasks, leveraging everything which is possible. Once you start leveraging these things, you will be able to generate greater results for you, and you will be able to create greater impact on the world. With this, thank you all. Thanks for listening.
And like in life, generally, parents always show the way to put our best foot forward. Over here, we have Toastmaster Ashok showing us the best way to leverage, the best way to work in leveraging time and people in order to be more productive. This today marks the end of our prepared speeches section. And now moving on, one of the most anticipated functions of any wedding ceremony is the musical night, or as Indians would call it, the Sanggi Ceremony. A couple of pegs, popular demand, and one good master of ceremony ensures that everyone in this musical night has their dancing shoes on. It may be a little too early for us in India to have our pegs, but we have an amazing table topics master, also known as Master of Ceremony, to be conducting our most anticipated table topics session today. Today's table topics master has a love of all things mystery and suspense, along with speaking. Put them together, and you have the perfect recipe for her role tonight, handing out topics to unsuspecting victims. Let's join our hands together and welcome Toastmaster Sheila Mcintyre, who loves to think on her feet and come up with impromptu speeches every day since she works with teenagers in her classes. Over to you, Sheila.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Right now, we're going to be doing the exciting section called Impromptu Speeches, or otherwise known as table topics. You will have the opportunity to practice thinking and speaking on your feet, like I do often during the day. While you are thinking on your feet, not only will you be using your brain power to think of what you're going to say, but you're also honing your presentation skills at the same time. Not only can this help you in your work environment, but it can also help you in your home life or personal life as well. Today, I've prepared a few topics that hopefully will help you to meet this goal and have fun while you're doing it. Tonight's theme is going to be centered around the topic of how would things look or be different if? And you are going to pick what the if is. So again, just a reminder, timing, 1 minute, the timer will show the green card, 1.5 minutes the yellow, 2 minutes the red, and there's 30 seconds grace. Are we ready to begin? Do I have any volunteers? I won't call you victims. I'll call you volunteers.
Let us start with Naveen. Our
Naveen.
resident.
Hello.
All right. Naveen, are you willing to go?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a shot.
All right. Let me share my screen. Oh, can I share my screen? Can you enable me? You will pick a number and then I will show you what it looks like underneath the color or underneath the square. What number would you like, Naveen?
Right. I think I'll go for the last one, number 11.
All right. How would things look or be different if we all had a talking donkey companion like Shrek?
Okay. Okay, now I don't know who Shrek is, but if we had a talking donkey companion, it would definitely make my life easy, because I would find someone, or at least I could say that I'm smarter than someone. So in life, it's always good to challenge yourself or to be better than someone else or appear to be better than someone else. Because there are a lot of times we do make up mistakes in life and we end up looking just like, or we end up thinking that we are just like a donkey who doesn't use his mind. So if I had a companion like them, like a donkey, I would know what it feels like to be a donkey in a literal sense and in a physical sense. Well, now let me tell you that we all make mistakes every day in life. And we all agonize over it. And we all think that if I would have done this thing different, if I wouldn't have done this, or if I should have done this, or if I could have done this, maybe things would have been different. But let me tell you, it's not all that bad to make mistakes, because a mistake which makes you humble is always better than an achievement which makes you arrogant. So even if at any time anyone calls you a donkey, even in a literal sense or in a metaphorically, take it with a pinch of salt and consider it to be all right, that even if I've been compared to a donkey, it's all right. It's a great companion to have because it makes you think, it makes you grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. All right. I'm taking it my screen disappeared off of sharing. Is that correct? All right. Who can I get to go next? Who would like to volunteer?
We have
Anyone?
Sharendra. We have Sharendra joining us all the way from Kolkata, I think.
Oh, all right. Would you like to participate?
Actually, I'm at the airport and just checking in. So if you don't mind, can I pass at this time?
All right. Fair enough. Safe travels.
Thank you.
We can ask Sumit Juneja.
Hi.
Sumit, would you like to go pick a number?
Yep, Sheila.
What number would you like?
I'll take 3.
How would things look or be different if Gandhi wasn't or hadn't been assassinated?
Mahatma Gandhi is a wonderful man, was a wonderful man, and he has taught us many things in our life, that how without being violent, we can achieve things in our life that somehow violence cannot achieve. He has given so many good messages, and he has been the person who had the power of determination, the power of will. And with his willpower, he shown us the way that how we Indians been able, and how we can achieve our freedom and he has made us achieve such big feats in our life. Had Gandhi not been assassinated, uh, the things would have been different in a sense that we would probably not be taking him. We would be having some more good qualities about Gandhi, knowing that he has uh, a freedom fighter, and had he been with us for a longer duration of time, we could have had a better constitutions being built, better guidance in terms of how we could have achieved our uh, how we could have achieved more from our independence in the shortest possible period of time, because he is the one who has got us the freedom in the very short period of time, and that too with non-violence. And he could have shown us some more light to build a better nation that we have currently been able to do. And with a lot of positive things that he has on his credit, we could have learned more lessons from him, and we could have utilized much more learning from him and become a faster growing nation as compared to what we are right now. And that's why I feel that had Gandhi not been assassinated and will be with us for a longer period of time, we would have seen a better India as we have at this point of time. Over to you.
All right. Fair enough. Very good. All right. Kushbu, can I get you to volunteer for a table topics? Are you there? I think she might have stepped away for a moment.
Yes, I'm there.
Would you like to take a table topic?
Yes.
All right. What good topic can we share with you tonight? What number would you like?
6.
6 it is. How would things look or be different if you could change one awful event in world history, but it may have meant you would never have been born?
Can you repeat it, please?
Oh, yep. How would things look or be different if you could change one horrible or awful event in world history, but it may mean that you wouldn't have been born?
Okay. Nothing is coming to my mind right now. I'm extremely sorry. Nothing is coming.
Would someone like to take that topic? Gayatri, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Madam Table Topic Master. This world is filled with an awful lot of events. Some we feel should not have happened, and some we cherish that they actually happened. But you, Madam Table Topic Master, has asked me that one awful event, which if avoided, would have meant that I would not be born. That awful event, I would say, was my father not selected in the army. It was my father's childhood dream that he wanted to join army and he wanted to be a martyr for this country. He went for the tryouts, and at that time, just a few days before the tryouts, he got specs and he was rejected on the basis of not meeting the required criteria. He was completely dejected, he was in despair, and he felt deceived by the fate. But then, as the fate was, he ended up becoming an engineer. Then he went on to complete his MBA, and today he is an LLM. He has now devoted his life to studying and studying alone, even after retirement. I believe it was the most awful event because my father is an hardcore patriot. And a hardcore patriot cannot think about anything more important than to serve for his country. Now, my father keeps on looking for opportunities to serve his country to his best capacity. Currently, he's serving the students in the rural areas, taking telescope to those villages, teaching those students, getting people to teach those students, and making them aware. But still, not being selected in the army was one awful event in his life. But then again, if that had happened, I would not be born. So I'm happy about that. Thank you so much. Over to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
We are certainly happy that you are here with us and that the events went as they did and that you are here. All right. Raj, you would like to do one. Let me pull up my screen share. And what number would you like?
6. So 6 already gone, 5.
How would things look or be different if you stayed a teenager for the rest of your life?
Thank you, Table Topic Master. If I had been a teenager for the rest of my life, I would have been dancing all the way because I have seen my son dancing anytime. Whenever you talk to him, he will start dancing. I do not know how he scores so much. He scores almost 95% and more. And I have never seen him studying, but in spite of that, he is scoring that much. If I that's why I think that if I had been the teenager, in spite of not studying anything, I would have scored that much. But is it really the truth? No. If I had been the teenager, I would have to be looking too much things forward. I would have been worrying for my future, what I want to become in future. I would have to focus on my studies because my parents would be expecting too much from me. I would have to be looking towards girls in a different way because there is changes in the body of adolescents. So point is that though no particular stage in life is perfect, every change requires some changes, and thus even if God gives me the boon that you stay teenager for whole of your life, I would not like to have that for the whole of the life, because that is not the point. Point is that life should change and one should grow, because as we grow we get experience, and with experience we get knowledge, and with knowledge and experience we are able to feed others, we are able to do something for the with other people. So, though I would have liked to stay a teenager, but that would not have fulfilled my dreams, because every person has a dream and every person's dream should be fulfilled. With this, I would like to conclude it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Words of wisdom, very true. All right, who would like to go next?
We have Haritika who just joined in.
Ritika, would you like to go? I would love to hear your spin on one of these topics.
Yes.
All right, you are up. What number would you like?
9.
9 is yours.
Yes.
How would things look or be different if you were told this was your last year you would be on Earth? Rupi's laughing. He made me laugh.
Okay, thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. If I was told that this is my last year on Earth, then I would probably spend this years for fulfilling whatever I dreamed of having. Like I dream of completing my CA, but by any chance I can't complete it before time because my exams are due in May 22. So that's not what I can complete, but I can definitely make my parents proud that by doing something different, probably I would make them happy by getting up early, because that's the only thing they want me to do. I just got up and I'm here. That is a thing that makes them happy, seeing me got up early in the morning. But I don't do that, and I would help my mother in doing whatever she does. That will also help her get happy. But that's the only thing I think I would do if I feel that this is the last year on earth. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's see. Payal, would you like to go?
Yes, Madam Toastmaster, I would try.
All right. What number would you like?
Can you share your screen?
Let's see. Is my screen visible?
No.
Let me try again. Is it visible now?
No, Sheila. Yes, yes, I can see it now.
Okay.
I'll
What
choose
number would you?
Yeah, sorry. I choose number 2.
How would things look or be different if electricity was never invented?
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Table Topic Master. Yes, since electricity has become a part of our existence, I'm scared to know that if at all we didn't have electricity, I think life would have been completely different from what we experience right now. The best part of not having electricity is that we would be in the dark. So there are many things which can only be done in dark. Like, so I guess uh, that would be the best part. If we there are secrets which we want to hide from others, and I think electricity would help us that way. And I think electricity has become a driving force to using a lot of technology that we use, right from the internet to electric appliances and all. So I think we would be devoid of all that, and our growth would have been very slow compared to what we are actually experiencing right now. So that's all. That's all, Sheila. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's see.
Let's ask Khushbu if she wants to try again.
Khushbu, would you like to try again?
Yes.
A different.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. We have 1, 4, 7, 8, and 10 left.
Anything. Give me anything.
Well, I know what they are, so I want you to pick.
Okay. 7.
How would things look or be different if you could spend your life never sleeping? What would you do with the extra hours in each day?
Okay. Sleep is extremely important. And these days, when I'm working on my sleep pattern, I'm trying to sleep on time and get up on time. And my working hours has been maximized, because eventually I'm working at 12 hours only. And I'm realizing that how good sleep is important. If we sleep good amount of time, both in terms of quality time and quantity time, our productivity increases, and it's extremely important for our growth in terms of our health and for our productivity. But when we don't sleep and if I would have got those extra hours, what would I have done? I would have finished reading all the storytelling books that I have. I have finished all the training modules that I've been looking forward to finish as early as possible. I would have literally taken more and more online classes, and my goal of teaching 1,000 teachers by 2022 would have been maximized by the end of this year probably. So if I would have got those amount of time without sleeping, what would I have achieved? I would have achieved a lot of things, but I know that is not possible because good sleep is extremely important for our metabolism, for our mental health, for a good health. And this is quite visible from the glow of my face. Over to you. Thank you, Table Topic Master.
Very good. All right.
Let's try Ashok, our speaker today.
Would you like to try, Ashok?
Yeah, sure.
Which number would you like?
1.
How would things look or be different if the cell phone was never invented?
That's good. I remember those days when we used to have landline phones, and I have seen one person. I used to go to tuition those days, and I have seen one the place where I used to go to tuition. There was a cordless phone. So that time I saw a cordless phone. Person is able to pick that phone because by that time, every time phone rings, you have to go to phone. But that was the first time when I have seen phone coming to the person. Teacher was teaching us, and someone took the phone to that person, and that ways I was amazed. At that age, I was amazed to see that. Now cell phone has become a commodity. Everyone understands cell phone, everyone uses cell phone, but we have seen those times where we were living without cell phones. And even if we watch movies some 20-30 years back, and when we watch those movies and villains are chasing and hero is trying to reach out to heroine, and we think that why they don't call, why don't they have phone, and then we recall that okay, phone is not there. So I think if phone would not have been there, then in one sense our life would have been much simpler. As it was before inventing, things were not so complicated. People used to reach out to people, they used to send letters, they used to make calls, and they used to think a lot. That was one part of it. But another part of it, these days we are able to utilize cell phones for taking care of our loved ones wherever they are. Like Shorin sir is sitting on airport, but still we are able to connect with him. So that way cell phone has played a really, really good role in our life. So I'm happy that cell phones are there. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. And I do remember landlines. I was just talking with my students about rotary phones because most of them don't know what a rotary phone is. All right, we still have a couple of topics left.
We have 2 topics, and if we don't get anyone, then let us try our Toastmaster of the day, and then maybe Alisa.
All right, anyone want to volunteer? I guess not. Amit, would you like to take one?
Yeah, sure. Let's try it.
All right. Would you like 4, 8, or 10?
I'll take 4.
How would things look or be different if we were thrown back into the 1980s?
Okay.
That may be hard for you as you're younger.
I have absolutely no memories of 1980s. I'm a 1992. I mean, I was born in 1992, but having been on a lot of road trips with my parents, my grandparents, and everyone basically elder to me back when I was in school and college, I know for a fact that the taste in music was a little better in the 1980s. In the sense that it wasn't all about making electronic music and the music getting sounded. I mean, the music sounding the way it sounds today, wherein it's just shrills and high-pitched music being made by anyone and everyone. It was, I feel that people were a little more trained on how to develop music, how to actually, how to develop music and how to just have music sound like a melody to the ears and sound more appealing to the ears. I feel today music is more about back then music was like could be used to soothe your headaches. Today music can cause headaches. So if we move back to 1980s, I believe that will probably be my one takeaway from that era. Apart from the fact that India won a lot of series in that cricket series in that era. There was the World Series that India won in Australia. There was the Cricket World Cup that India won in 1983. There was the World Cup that was conducted in 1987 in India, where India reached the semi-finals. And so those would be my takeaways. And that would be it for me. Thank you so much. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
All right. I like that idea about less headaches. I could do with less of those. All right, last one. Alisa, are you up for the challenge?
Sure thing. Just trying to get my screen set up here.
Somebody would have to time Alisa. Can I have a volunteer, please?
Oh, I actually get to decide. Look at that, 8 or 10.
Somebody will have to time Alisa. Can I have a volunteer?
I'll change my backdrops.
Okay, cool. I'll add you to the spotlight.
All right, 8 or 10, my dear.
Oh, choices. So tough. Let's see. Let's go with 10.
How would things look or be different if companies were charged a fee every time they delivered bad customer service?
Sheila, in reality, this is a really easy question to answer. How would companies be different if they're charged with bad service? There would be less bad companies in the world. After all, we all have had that experience where we go to a store to buy any kind of product, whether it is to the train station. The worst are the government services. I don't know about India, but here in Puerto Rico, anything that is run by the government is the absolute worst, unfortunately. Imagine if they got charged a fee every single time they gave us bad service. We would have excellent service all the time. Now, let me give you an example of when this happened in my life. Last summer, my family was visiting from the States, and we decided, pandemic or no, we would go to the beautiful, enchanting, enthralling island of Culebra. Now, this island has white, sandy beaches, water so clear that it looks like a swimming pool. The only problem is you have to get there. And the only way to get there is the government ferry. So we showed up on the first day. We bought our tickets. We were ready to go. And the ferry did not arrive, and it did not arrive. And we waited and waited. Finally, it was there. We were so excited. We got up and they told us, oh, we're sorry. This is the cargo ferry. You can't go on this one. But we said, we have tickets for this hour. They said, no, we're sorry. We went on a second day. We bought our tickets. Same problem. They gave us for a different hour. Crazy as we were, we went a 1/3 time. We finally made it to the island. They let us on the cargo ferry. We were stuck in the hold. Half the people were throwing up, but we made it. Only to have to turn around because they'd given us the wrong tickets and come back an hour later, only 1 hour of being on this beautiful island with the white sandy beaches. That was the worst service I've ever had in my life. And I can tell you for certain, if I could have charged them, I would have charged them so much money for making us go through all that hassle. I would love to charge companies money, bad companies. and in the end, get good service from good ones. Over to you, Sheila. Thank you.
Very good. All right, so I just want to show you very quickly the last question that everybody dodged. And it was the longest question. If you were the emperor of a small island nation and could pick any 3 people to come and live on your island for 5 years, who would they be and why? Personally, I think it's the most interesting question out of all of them. It went unanswered, so maybe for another time. Thank you so much. All the speeches were excellent. Good job. And, oh, I forgot. I have one last box to share with you. I hope you had fun. Over to you. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you for the wonderful table topic session, Sheila. Now, for a traditional Indian wedding, everything is earmarked to happen at a particular time. These are auspicious times governed by the lunar calendar for the year. To understand this calendar, we have a priest who helps us ensure that everything is kept in strict accordance with the time allocated for it. In Toastmasters, we have a timekeeper who ensures all our speeches happen within the relevant time frame and we don't exceed our designated time. Our goal at Toastmasters is to ensure continuous improvement. We would now move on to our siblings and relatives to give us feedback on how we went and the things that we need to do better in our subsequent meetings. I would like to call upon our siblings, led by our eldest relative, the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. I welcome Rupinder and his team to give us an assessment of the prepared speeches and the table topics.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you so much for that wonderful theme. Took me back down the memory lane. Why am I smiling? 20 years. Anyway. So I am going to start with the general evaluation. I'm going to call the sole evaluator, the sole flag bearer, Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta, to evaluate the speech of our one of our newest speakers, Ashok Sharma. Over to you, Raj.
Thank you, General Evaluator. There was a young man like our Toastmaster of the day, and there Ashok was bang on us. He started with a story, and story is the best way of telling your message. You start with a story, and every person who is around you would stop and start listening to you. And then he dwelled on the topic that what he is going to tell to us. He told to us that it is the best way to leverage the resources through other people. Why one should not be taking everything onto himself, because taking the team together and then using the team is the best way of getting the work done. And in this, he gave two examples of people and time, how people and time can be best used. And he gave his own example that today he is giving the speech, and some supplementary role players shall be helping him in improving him, like the timer, like the grammarian, like the evaluator. Secondly, he gave the example of time, how the time can be best used while using the internet. Again, he gave he gave the example of himself and saying that how the time can best be used for skilling oneself or upgrading the skills or learning new things. So the best way of the speech was that there was too many things to learn from the speaker for all of us. He was confident while speaking, and his voice was also clear, and we were able to hear every word of it. At the same time, I felt that there were some aspects in the speech which need some improvement. For example, while speaking, most of the time he will clasp his hands like this. I would advise him that instead of keeping the hands like this, he should widely open his arms like this and use his as much as possible. Secondly, while the speech was good and the content was good, there was some scope of dialogues. He could have added some character in the speech, and then some scope of dialogue was there. Second, thirdly, he was giving the speech while standing at a single position, single place. I would advise that next time when he gives the speech, he should be moving from one place to another, like opening and then closing and all that. And a little bit of vocal variety could have also been added with the help of the dialogues. All in all, it was a good speech and great message by the speaker. And now I would like to say that there was a young man called Ashok who delivered an excellent speech. And I'm hopeful that this gentleman will be giving many better speeches in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.
Thank you so much, Raj, for taking up that evaluation on an almost impromptu basis and and doing such a wonderful job out of it. Thank you very much. I will now proceed to evaluate table topics. Timer, please time me for the next 2 to 3 minutes. I will give one commendation and one recommendation for each. My time starts now. Naveen, the best thing that I liked about your topic was that single quote. A mistake that makes you humble is way better than than a success that makes you arrogant. Now, I have this habit of a quote a day, and this is making it there. If there is a recommendation that I have for you, I noticed that you started almost immediately as the table topic master gave you the topic. Perhaps you were very confident about the topic. I would pause for a couple of seconds, gather my thoughts, and then go further. Not that it affected your topic, but for future reference, 2 seconds gap, just take that time. It's like the deep breath you take before you dive into the swimming pool. Sumit, had Gandhi been alive today? Very relatable topic, and it's a question that I often ponder upon. And you touched upon all the points that I would have thought about. My recommendation was that you maybe had too many ideas and you wanted to get them all inside a 2 minute speech, and that is not always possible. So my recommendation would be pick up three ideas that you want to convey. Gayatri, uh, a very relatable story. I also wanted to join the army, but an injury prevented me from doing so. So I could totally relate to that story. You told it like a story. The only thing is that I think you slightly misinterpreted the topic. The topic was even if it meant that you would not be born. So it could be any world event. For example, it could have been the Second World War, and somehow it not. I mean, whether you were born or not was a different thing. So you slightly misinterpreted it, but I think even with that misinterpretation, wonderful topic, great job done. Raj, you were given a chance to be a teenager, and I could not help but notice that your eyes literally lit up. And then you went on to deliver such a wonderful topic. The only recommendation that I have was that towards the end you became a little bit prescriptive, and I would have wanted to maintain that fun topic that you had started with. Haritika, if you were going to, this was your last year on earth, well, difficult topic. I saw your smile disappear just for that little bit, but then you came up with a bucket list. Now, for Raj and for Haritika, my recommendation is try to imagine one of those movies where this is possible. Haritika, if you are a fan of Shah Rukh Khan, then Kal Ho Na Ho is an excellent example. So, what if you had just 1 year to live? What would you want to do? Payal, imagine the world without electricity. Payal, I think that you got off to a nervous start, but you made up for it. The thing is that these topics offer so much scope for imagination. All you have to do is close your eyes and then try to imagine the world around you. And perhaps if you had started from there, it would have made for a wonderful topic. Khushbu, life without speech. I loved how you changed the topic to mean that if I had extra time. I think that is one of the key aspects of being a table topic speaker, that you interpret the topic, and the sooner you interpret it, the better your topic becomes. And you did a wonderful job with that. Only thing I felt that at point again, like Raj, at some point you became a little bit prescriptive. uh, Ashok, if cell phones were not invented, like Khushbu, you immediately went back to an era without the cell phones, and you did a great job. My only recommendation that I felt that you were still in that mode from your speech. You had still not come out of that speaker that you delivered. So possibly changing your position so as to come across as a different person. And this is a recommendation. For example, there are times when you're participating in more than one contest, maybe a table topic, maybe and an ISC on the same day. Get Change something about yourself. Otherwise, you will be in the previous mode of the contest. Amit, you got a difficult topic. You were not born in 1980s and you were asked to talk about 1980s. But I think I actually loved how you adapted. Music was a great idea. I mean, I love that thing about music, that earlier music used to cure headache, and now it creates headache. The only recommendation is that you were fumbling in between, you are searching for ideas. Keep on practicing and your fumbles will be okay. Alisa, how companies would be different if they were charged for bad services? Topic that was very relatable. I was in customer relationship management, and companies were actually charged for spamming their customers, again, for bad services. Where I felt that you could improve or somewhere in your speech you went off on a tangent when you told that fairy story, and I was like, okay, where is she going with this? Is she going to come back or not? But thankfully you did come back. Perhaps that story could have been slightly shorter, but other than that, it was a great speech. Thank you for sharing your story with us. That completes my table topics evaluation. I will now go with my tag team reports in the reverse order. I would like to first call my grammarian. This Isurian general evaluator would like to call the grammarian on stage and deliver her report. Payal.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So the bad news is that the word of the day wasn't used at all. So let's hope we can use it in our future meetings whenever the word of the day is shared. And it applies to all of us, including me, since I also did not use it. So we have some good and not so good usage of grammar. Today we don't have a very long list since we had only one speaker, but I still have some of. So to list it down, I liked taking from Toastmaster Ashok's speech. Let me share with you the good usage of grammar he did. Leverage people and time, bang on his work, sweat through his teeth, power of leverage. I liked the title of his speech. Fast lane of success. Time is this is what Elisa has shared with us. Time is something we want the most and we respect the least. I think this is a takeaway for all of us today. Upgrade yourself to new skills, ample amount of things. Anticipated event, honing your speaking skills, pinch of salt, assassinated, words of wisdom, a mistake that makes you humble is better than a success that makes you arrogant. I think these two quotes will be a takeaway for all of us. The not so good usage of grammar is just a couple of them. Chit chatting with friends. It can be chit chat. Sorry, the wrong usage was chit chatting with the friends. I think it can be said chit chatting with friends. And uh, I choose. Someone has used I choose friends over something. I think there was some pronunciation error there. So that was just one not so good usage of grammar. All in all, it was a great, it was great in terms of grammar and vocabulary. So over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Payal, for that report. Next, I would like to spotlight my R counter to deliver his report. Kapil, you are on.
Yeah, thank you. Could you enable my screen sharing as well?
Screen sharing is enabled, Kapil.
Okay. All right. So this is my report. This is self-explanatory. So T-mod Amit, you use more than 10 R's and ums in your role as a T-mod. And then, of course, you use some filler words, 3, and then there is a repetition. And same goes for others. Ashok used 2 R's and ums. Gayatri and Elisa did not use any filler word or any R's and ums. So well done, Gayatri and Elisa. And yeah, I think some topics were difficult. So I feel that is why there were a lot more R's and ums than we expect. But yes, one can see the report here itself.
Thank you, Kapil. I would also recommend that you share the report with the group so that we can benefit from it. And let me call upon our timer all the way from Puerto Rico, from 10 and a half hours away, Toastmaster Elisa Schneider.
Yes, thank you very much. Time is a precious thing. That's why you want to make sure you spend it with the right people. And I think that if you're here this morning, you've definitely made a good choice. Where better to be than Toastmasters, where we learn from each other, grow together, and have fun. Today, I think we spend our time very wisely. We did excellent. I'm going to share my screen so you can see how that looked. And we will go over the times. Starting off with, let's just highlight some of the main sections. Rupinder at the beginning, 140. Couple in your introductions, 114. Amit 313. GE presentation 607. Here's the ones we want to highlight. Speakers, Ashok 634, well within the time. Table topics. Naveen 128, Sumit 212, Gayatri 213, Raj 204, Haritika 115, Payal 117, Khushbu 136, Ashok 149, Amit 207, and myself 224. Raj, you were well within the time for your evaluation with 305. And then Rupinder, you did go over a little overtime with the table topics, but come on, there was like 10 of them or 9. So I think you did a fantastic job tackling so many topics in such a short amount of time. Grammarian report 215, I'll counter 40 seconds, and I've probably gone over time, but there we are. It's been a pleasure to be your timer for today. So thankful to be here. And remember, time is precious. Spend it with the right people. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Elisa. I will now launch the polls for the best auxiliary role player. Please vote. You've got 30 seconds to vote, and here you go. And while that is happening, I will provide my feedback on the meeting. We started about 30 seconds late, and in some clubs that might be acceptable. Let's not make it a practice in our club, because I would like our meetings to start dot at 8:30, gavel down dot at 8:30. There were some role players who were not prepared. I would strongly recommend that everyone be prepared with their roles. When it comes to the individual role players, let me go through them one by one. Amit Tandon, what a fantastic job as a Toastmaster of the day. Doing it for the first time, barely one speech the into the Toastmasters program. You've just given your icebreaker. It was very brave of you to step up to be a Toastmaster of the day. When Joyita told me that you were going to be Toastmaster of the day, I was like, are you sure? And she said, yes, he is very excited. I said, okay, then let's go ahead with it. But what a wonderful theme. I love the way you related the theme to the different sections of the meetings. Although being called a priest, I don't think many people will agree with you if you me a call me a priest. But then every saint was once a sinner. I'm still sinning. uh, to the table topics master. Wow. Where did those table topics come from? I The moment I heard that Raj got, okay, if I was a teenager, I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. Then world without cell phones. I want to do that. World without electricity. Give me that topic. At every topic, I was wishing, okay, I wish I was not the general evaluator today. I wish I was not evaluating the table topic speakers today. I wish I was giving a table topic. Given that there were so few of us, I absolutely wanted to do that. Great topics, except for the last one. I'm not saying that it is not a good table topic. It is a wonderful table topic. And it should be given. But my benchmark for a table topic is that if we can keep it to less than 10 words. Okay. Now, what would be the word be like? I am not even counting those words, but what follows them should be less than 10 words. That is the only recommendation I have for you. But boy, did you enthrall the audience today. I mean, literally, you were the star of the show today. Great job done. Let's have a round of applause for her as well. To my speech evaluator, I I think I should stop calling him Raj Mehta. I should start calling him my man Friday, because there have been innumerable occasions when he has stepped in and saved the day for us. And to do that for us, for almost on an impromptu basis, to come up with an evaluation like that. He had a total of 3 recommendations, and I'm pretty sure Ashok is only going to become better because of those recommendations. Raj, wonderful evaluation. And I will not give you a recommendation today. I will only say make sure that your next evaluation is better than today, because that is how we all improve. When it comes to my tag team, I have absolutely no, again, not too many recommendations, just one. Let's ensure that because we are role players, we are signed in at least 10 minutes before the meeting starts. Some of us came in late. We had a back out, but I think Kapil did the job of our counter admirably, and I like the way he presented his report. Just one recommendation: next time you might want to upload the report to a drive or something, and give us the link to that also, so that we can put it inside our meeting minutes and share the report with the rest of the world. Timer, I loved the way you timed, not just the speakers, but every other role player. And I liked the idea of showing simply the red card to role players and not the green, yellow, red, as is often done. Because as a role player, if we are not a speaker, we have to be very cognizant of the time, because we are here to facilitate other people. We are not here to capture the limelight. And that red card was a very good reminder. It was an excellent reminder that we should not be taking more time than what we have. I was guilty on that part, but great job, timer, and a wonderful report. Uh, Coming to my grammarian, just one recommendation in an otherwise wonderful report, a detailed report, a very diligent report, I would say. You went into the good usages and the not so good usages. So actually, 2 recommendations: never say bad news, just say not so good, because we try to be as euphemistic, you might say, or we try to be as positive as possible. That's number one. Two, the word esurient was used twice there was an ugly fat general evaluator who kind of used it. So uh, just be mindful of that. I actually purposely used it so that at least one word count gets in. But other than that, a wonderful meeting. We are finishing at 9:50. Before we finish, I would like to share my screen, and uh, this is for the newer people who have joined Toastmasters. I thought that we will kind of use this time to learn something about pathways. So, timer, please time me for about 5 minutes, and then I will hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day. I'm sharing my screen. So this is the website of toastmasters.org. If you are new to Toastmasters, then you must have heard about pathways. If you haven't, I'm going to give you a very quick introduction. There is this login link. You click login, this opens up. If you do not know your password, chances are you won't, especially if you are new into Toastmasters. Click on forgot password, and a link to reset the password will be sent to you. Once that happens, you reset your password, you come back here, you log in. And when you log in, you will be taken to your you'll be taken back to the home page. This changes to welcome Rupinder. It will be welcome followed by your name. You won't be called Rupinder. Relax, you're not that lucky. Now, when this you click on that, and when this screen opens up, I want you to see what all you can do on this page. First of all, you can edit your contact information and privacy. This is where you can change your password. Also, you can add another email address if you want to. You can update your phone number. You can also update your privacy and consents, and you can update your mailing address. You are also allowed to change your name, I think, once. For the rest, you'll have to write to Toastmasters International. This is the page where you have all of your data. For example, it tells me that, for example, if I go into education awards, it will tell me all the education awards that I have filed, not only this year, but ever since I was a Toastmaster. So it'll give you all of that information. I'll just go back, and there is also something called a membership history, which will tell you all the clubs that you've been a part of. Club support history, if you've ever been a club sponsor, mentor, or coach, then you can or you can actually create a club on your own by using this application to organize feature. If you've got 20 people who want to form a club, all you have to do is hit this application to organize, and you will be able to form a club on your own. But if you are new to Toastmasters, first thing I want you to do is to view the navigator. This is the first thing I want you to do. So if I click on this link, I'm opening it in a new window. This is the navigator page. If you go through this page, you will learn everything that is there to learn about Toastmasters. And if you do not have the time, there is a navigator PDF link. Click that, download it. Make sure it does not say in your C colons / downloads folder. Open the PDF and go through it. It will give you all the information that you need. Then you can choose a path, and for me it is saying $20 because every new path will cost you $20. What you do, but for newer people, it is going to be it is not it's going to be free. You get a one free path. You select the digital resources. Do not go for printed materials. That's going to cost you a lot of money. Then you take an assessment. Be very careful while you are taking this assessment. Even one answer where you are not sure will give you a different set of paths. Having said that, it is not incumbent on you to take the paths that are suggested by the assessment. You can take any of the 11 paths. Now, that was a very quick introduction to your profile pages and your introduction and pathways. As a general evaluator, I am signing off. I am handing it back to the Toastmaster of the day. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. It works when you're unmuted.
Yeah. Thanks for the wonderful evaluation and the wonderful introduction to pathways at Toastmasters. Fellow Toastmasters, now time has come to bid goodbye to this meeting. I would request all the participants, all the Toastmasters, to shower their blessings on the newlyweds, the Toastmaster of the day, and the Sergeant at Arms for wearing with each other to make this meeting a success. I hope our marriage is more awesome than our wedding. And with that, I would like to close this meeting.
Yeah, hand it back to the presiding.
I hand it back to the Sergeant at Arms.
The presiding officer.
Okay, I hand it back to the presiding officer now, Kapil Kakkar.
Thank you, Amit. All right, thank you, Amit. Okay. So before you announce your results, Rupinder, let me take quick feedback from our guests. Naveen, can I take feedback from your end? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can somebody confirm if you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Naveen, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah. So any feedback for our meeting today?
Yeah, it was an excellent meeting as usual, and I enjoyed the table topics the most. They were very creative because for me, table topics is one of the best part in Toastmasters, and I always admire creativity in table topics. And apart from that, even the prepared speech was very well structured, and it was a great meeting overall. Thank you for inviting me, Toastmaster Rupenderji. Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen.
Just stop adding G after my name. I don't think I deserve that kind of respect. Amit will understand very soon.
We don't have any more guests, Rupinder. I think Raj is no more a guest. So I think let's go ahead with the result.
But let's ask for his opinion because the certificates are still generating. Raj, how did you? I am not sure if Raj is there either, but the certificates are ready. So with your
Just a minute, I am just back.
Okay.
Yeah. So somebody was speaking something about me.
We were asking you how you felt about the meeting. Although you are no longer a guest, you're our extended family.
I felt it excellent, especially the table topic session. It was great, and also the team launch. Wow. So I also came to know that he's going to
Get married.
getting married. Oh wow! Congrats, Amit.
Thank you.
And it was a good meeting.
So Amit, before you go for your marriage, you must complete your level 1.
That is a condition.
That is the condition. Otherwise, I'll be there at your wedding and I'll be delivering a wedding toast and you will probably not like it. Okay, let me start with the certificates today. For today, and this is our automatic certificate generator tool. We will start with the best table topic speaker number 3, and The usual suspects, Naveen Parwal, many congratulations. Somebody who is again a usual suspect, Alisa Schneider. How do you do it, Alisa? Come on. And if you've seen the movie The Usual Suspect, you know that the central character was Kaiser Soze. Nobody knew who it was until the very end. And but our winner is no Kaiser Soze. She is a table topics champion at the area level and is going for the division level this time. The next Saturday, many congratulations, Gayatri Deshmukh. Next Saturday or Sunday, I'm still not clear on the dates. Okay. The best speech evaluator. Oh, this was such a difficult one. This decision was like, I spent a lot of my time trying to figure out who the best speech evaluator was, but it's Raj Mehta. Many congratulations for stepping up to that role. The best auxiliary role player goes to, again, a timer for today, Alisa Schneider. She walks away with 2 certificates. And the best role player today, okay, I'm not going to be a role player if Sheila Mcintyre is going to be a fellow role player, because she always walks away with the awards. Many congratulations. But I'll tell you why I did not win the best role player today, because I was like so caught up in deciding who is going to be our best speaker that I spent a lot of time there. So I was not able to focus. I was not able to concentrate. So many congratulations, Ashok Sharma, for winning the best speaker today. Now, with that, I will close all the tabs and I will hit this button, and the certificate should be reaching you by email if you give the correct email address. Great job, everyone. Back to you. Oh, before I go, on a very selfish note, I will be representing your club in the international speech contest, and I would love for you people to be there with your videos on, because when you have your videos on, I kind of feed off that energy. So I would love you to be there. I will let you know when, because right now there's a lot of back and forth happening on the dates. Thank you very much for everyone for being such a patient audience. I hand it back to our presiding officer. We already have 2 speakers for next week. We have Urfia Abdul, who will be delivering her contest speech. We have Rupinder Singh, who will be delivering his contest speech. So we kind of have one more
I can be the third one.
All right, Kapil, your name came first. Let me just open the scheduling sheet. So 1 second. So Kapil, you are giving your speech next week?
Yeah.
Okay. Sheila and Alisa, what roles would you like to take? Raj, would you like to take an evaluator role?
Yeah.
Naveen, would you like to take an evaluator role? Because
I can take the role of a grammarian if you want.
okay. Yep, I'll give it to you, Naveen.
Can I just request to give some extra time, because I understand in India you only give 3 minutes. So
3 to 5 minutes? Does 3 to 5 minutes work for you?
Yes. Yeah, that will be excellent, because generally I take 4 to 5 minutes. So
no worries. You will get 3 to 5 minutes.
Thank you
For grammarian report.
How
I
would
can
you
do an.
evaluate you?
I was
Khushbu
going to
has.
say I can do one too.
You could do an evaluation, Alisa. Oh, sorry, Sheila. Why do I get confused between you and Alisa?
Must be the hair color.
Yeah. Okay, so
Rupinder, as Sheila's mentor, I see that she's raised her hand for a speech. So I wonder if it's not this next week, can you put her on for the week after and reserve her spot?
who? Sheila for speech next week?
Well, I don't. Is there room next week, or if not, week after?
The week after, we can definitely just remind me at that time, because right now this tool does not accommodate future requests. But we'll kind of upgrade it. It's just that. Okay, so we've got Rupinder Singh as a speaker, and we've got Urfia Abdul as a speaker. Okay, uh, Alisa, you want to take speech evaluation, or do you want to take general evaluator?
I can help with speech evaluation, but I was thinking of taking a week off and just supporting all of you.
Oh, you'll come to the meeting, right? So I'll give you a speech evaluator, then we'll look for a general evaluator.
So am I up for doing a speech evaluation next week?
Yes, you are. So Raj, Sheila, and Alisa are speech evaluators for next week. Okay, we have Alisa. Then now we have we are missing an accounter. Uh, Khushbu, you are taking Toastmaster of the day. Khushbu,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Do you have a theme in mind?
Yes.
Can you share the theme with us so that I can kind of?
I'm typing in the chat box. My audio is not working.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Again, timer and accounter are open. Kapil, Payal, you want to take one of those?
Table topic also. Table topic.
Table topic master.
I'll take the timer.
Okay, Amit, you will take the timer. Payal, why don't you take table topic master?
Okay, I can go for it.
Okay. Okay, Navras. Khushbu, I'll have to connect with you, or maybe just send me a brief description of what this is about. And I'm just adding it as a theme right now because we need to make the poster. So that is why. Okay. And Khushbu, we have three speakers for next week. So we will be having a minimalist sort of a meeting wherein I'll explain what it is, what is the minimalist sort of a meeting for next week. Okay. We need an R counter for next week. Might as well close all the roles today.
If it is a minimalistic meeting, then I'll take a counter role because this theme will require time. So I will
Okay,
no point just
then I'll give you the R counter role.
okay.
Okay. We are now short of a tabletop Toastmaster of the day. We'll probably ask Sumit. I think he was interested. We'll ask him. Okay, then thank you,
And G,
everyone. Hello?
have we closed GE role?
No, we
General
haven't closed
evaluator.
general evaluator. Yeah, that is also open. So we'll ask for that from the group. I will stop the recording now.